Are you collecting currencies in your travels? Funny you ask. Yes, I definitely do. I have so many coins and whatever. You know what? And this is something that I struggle with, like philosophically. Here's a philosophical thing. How do you reconcile what young you thought about adult you and what adult you is living now? So like young me really loved the idea of foreign currency and stuff. And because I tutored, I would constantly be engaged with young people. When we would do learning how to do money, I would always bring in foreign currency to do the money thing with, because I would always tell the kids, when I was a kid, I used to think it was cool to have foreign money. And I would tell the kids that in tutoring, like, you're not going to feel the need to do proper math for American currency. But as somebody who's traveled the world, I can tell you, you're really going to need to use quick maths all the time when you're in a foreign country. You're having to do mental calculations for what the exchange rate of money is. That's why fractions and proportions are really important. That's why doing addition and subtraction and multiplication very quickly in your head is important. This is a practical use of these concepts all the time. So I would bring in like foreign currency. I would tell them what the exchange rate is, or even for little kids, we would do addition and subtraction with those coins. And it gets them out of habits that they build around American money and gets them to think a little bit harder. And I find that that's fun. And they like the idea of touching all the old money and stuff. Because young me used to think it was really cool. That's also part of the reason why I wanted to travel so much, is because young me really liked people who had traveled. Young me really liked the idea that like, oh, you don't just like know Japan from anime, you like went there. Or young me is like, oh, you don't just know about Europe from like history books, you went to Europe, you saw what those places are like. Or not just from movies, you went there and you saw them. Like, I think there's a big bastardization of places, peoples, and cultures that happens when they're represented in media. And I was well aware of that since I was a little kid. So I always liked the idea of like the older person who's been well traveled, or who brings stuff back with them when they travel, or their house has a bunch of pictures of them in Paris and different places. And so, you know, I really wanted to have my own versions of those travels and to always have stories. And like, if you ever meet anybody from anywhere, you can talk about their home country and stuff like that. That was always interesting to me. But I realized to use a Voshism, like the triviality or whatever of those things, or the frivolity of those things when I got older, like, you're really going to spend all that money to travel so that you can have like a conversation with a random person about the place that you went to? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good reason to do it, but like, the reasons for me doing it evolve over time, and I don't know how much they link back to when I was younger and the reasons I had when I was younger to do it. And money collecting is still one of those things. I don't do tutoring anymore. There's really no reason for me to have that. But I like the idea of having a jar on my shelf with currencies from different places and being able to take them out and show somebody someday. It's just, I don't have those people in my life anymore. It almost feels like, oh man, this is a charged one. I don't know. It feels like I had a kid that I lost or something. And like, I don't have the kids from tutoring anymore. So I keep collecting stuff that's for the kids in tutoring, and I don't have any kids in tutoring. Or like, I do things that I think younger me would have liked, but younger me is gone. He doesn't exist anymore. And so sometimes I catch myself like in habits of thought or of doing things, and I'm like, why do I do these things? Well, because like younger me wanted to do that stuff, and older me doesn't have like the zest in it anymore. And so I don't know. That's something philosophically that I struggle with sometimes thinking about. I don't know. Do you want to show us the money book? No, not particularly. You don't reconcile. Young me was a dumb fuck, and I'm still trying not to be one. I just don't think young me was a dumb fuck either. Some people were really fucking stupid when they were younger, but like, and this is the other weird thing. This is why I can't talk about this with people. Some people really hold distaste for their younger version of themselves. And like, sure, I have that in some regards, but like, Aren't you 24? I am, bro. But like, I don't know. I fit a lot of life in fucking 24 years of age, dude. When I'm talking about younger me, I mean like me when I was like little, like 6 to like 12 years old. So that's like, I know you're old as fuck. I'm really important. So you probably don't even remember that shit, bro. You got fucking early dementia setting in, bro. You can't even remember yesterday. But like, I remember when I was way younger and like, I made it a point through journals and stuff to like keep to that stuff. And so I don't know. I feel a deeper connection to the past. Yeah, I don't know. I think about that stuff like a lot. Because without that stuff, I just don't know how much I have anymore. Like the things I'm into now when I'm an adult. And like I think it's important because younger me had like a much... I'm getting back to what I was talking about earlier. I respected younger me quite a bit. Like younger me was right about a lot of things. Like sometimes I look back on like what younger me would think about stuff, and it does help give me answers for like problems I have now. Like when I feel like just staying in bed and not doing anything, and I would think like, would younger me feel like that if I was in a foreign country and like I had all this privilege and I had this kind of job and this is the way I'm treating it? Like that really helps get me out of a lot of funks. That's why like it's difficult for me to go back on that. Like honestly, with the stream schedule and stuff, like younger me would take this seriously. Younger me would realize like the privilege in the job that I have right now. Like younger me would be so thrilled that like I talk to people online all day as my job, and that I do this as entertainment, and I get to crack jokes in front of people and have omega lulls and whatever. Like younger me would think that's the coolest shit ever. And when I think about how younger me would have interpreted that, it helps me find a reason to like it as older me, and to respect it more, and then to bring in the clarity that some of the stuff that I've learned as an adult has. Like, okay, like, sure, it's good to do this and it's a cool job, but I should do it in a way that I like, right? And then we adjust that. Like, it's not purely that, but it does help bring me out of some funks, you know? Career changes are good. I've had like 3 careers already. I know. You know what's funny? I'm making fun of you guys. Like, Wicked Supreme and I'm Really Important try to get me to quit streaming all the time. I feel like you guys are always trying to get me to quit, and I hate it. Stop. Don't do this. I don't like it. I feel like you guys are always trying to get me to quit. I'm always trying to get you guys to keep going on forever. And you guys are always like, well, you know, it's not made for everybody. Even Relly did this shit, dude. Relly and I were talking, and he's super stoked to stream all the time, and I'm not. BS? Bro, I do be remembering. When I get salty, I feel like, you know, maybe this is more true with Wicked Supreme, but I definitely remember it with you as well, bro. So you always say shit like this. Well, you know, I've changed a lot of careers in my days. That's a normal thing, you know. You gotta, like, you literally did the meme. Career changes are good. They're trying to stop you from becoming too big to stop. It's a business decision, dude. I mean, ghostwriting / tutoring to content creator. Yeah, well, we're not talking about that, though. You have to realize how I'm going to interpret that, IRI. There's some optics there. There's some optics there, buddy. That's not at all what I think about when I read that statement. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's good to switch from there, from tutoring to this. But, you know, it's not the same, you know? It's not the same for sure. I guess I see what you mean now. Now that I have you lay it out like this, I do understand what you mean. That, like, being sad about the tutoring stuff is fine, but now I do a different job kind of deal. If Irrelevant moves house and he needs a roommate, I would move in with Irrelevant.
No shot. No fucking shot, dude.